Hey there, Squirrel Army. How's it going for today? I'm back just for a little bit. In regarding to Infinity, if you've seen the thumbnail and the description, you know what this is all about. But I'm not going to be doing very much for Infinity and whatnot because like 90% of the cards from what I've seen are not command illegal or whatever. The ones that are command illegal aren't that interesting for the most part. And even the ones that I'm talking about today aren't really that interesting. They're just some nice pet cards that I like and that I want to talk about for a few minutes or whatever. I did say this on Facebook, I believe, that I don't really know what to do with this set. And that's another reason why I'm kind of putting this out there, is to say, hey guys, for those people who didn't really see the Facebook tweet, message or whatever that I put out, let me know what you guys want to see, because I always want to know what people want to see. I don't want to just throw things out there. It's a waste of my time to put them together if people don't really want to see that kind of stuff, or if people aren't invested in this kind of stuff. So if you guys want to see me do an unboxing of the Infinity or whatnot, yeah, I will definitely do it. I will be getting maybe a box for myself. Don't really know. But I am only really looking for the full art lands and the shocks. So, and maybe these couple of squirrel cards or token cards, whatever. But this one, or at least these ones, but one's a distraction anyway. It's not a real card. It's not a card you put in your deck. It's just a token essentially for the most part. But anyway, that is what I'm going to be talking about here today for the most part. But again, I'm not really going to be talking about Infinity beyond saying, hey guys, what do you guys want to see? And if people do want to see that, then I will do an unboxing. But I really don't think there's much from the set to talk about from what I've seen. There's not that much amazing stuff from this set. It's just not going to add a whole lot. And even as I said before, that this isn't an amazing card. It's just a pet card for me, because I like squirrels and I'm a squirrely guy and I'm not nuts for squirrel cards and whatnot. That's all it is. It's just, haha, squirrel cards, and that's just me, and being like, haha, we'll get squirrels, haha. That's the whole thing here with this one. But that's it, these cards aren't going to set the world on fire. They're just kind of cool cards that I kind of like, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Let's do this thing. And I do have to figure out how some of these interact technically in the rules and whatnot, because it seems a little weird that how these cards work, at least. But anyway, we'll be getting to that. But anyway. So, yeah, I'm not really thinking too much more about the Warhammer decks. For the most part, they are a very limited release as well. I do want to just say that as well. I did think about discussing some of the cards from the decks and, how good they are, or where they could go, or where they could fit. But since this is a very limited print run, and most people who are buying these decks are either buying them because, hey, I'm a collector and I want to collect them or whatever, or, hey, I want to collect these and basically shoehorn them away for 20 years or whatever it is until, whatever time, and, make them, $300-400 worth of money on them because they're a fully complete deck or whatever. So, or just, have them on the shelf and be like, hey, guys, when you're over to play, we'll pull down one of these decks and we'll just play, and that's it. And I like that idea too. I like that whole idea of okay, I've got all these decks for people to choose from, spin a random number or whatever it is, or just pick one off the shelf and go, okay, I'm playing this then. Just wheel and deal for fun. But anyway, that is pretty much all the hubbub of stuff that I have to talk about here. So let's get to talking about the two cards that I'm here to talk about. One is the attraction Squirrel Stack, and the other is Squirrel Squatters. So again, both of these cards are legal, aren't they? Yeah, they're. But both of these aren't going to set the world on fire, but these are just pet cards for me that I like. Squirrel Squatters is an actual card that you can actually play, and it's not Squirrel Stack, which is just basically an artifact token, like, I guess it's a clue or something. It gets sacrificed or whatever. When it enters the battlefield, we make an attraction, which Squirrel Stack is an attraction, so that works with that. So we make the Squirrel Stack. And I'll get into what Squirrel Stack does in a minute, but it's the Squirrel Squatters is a 5-mana 4/4. When it it attacks, we create a 1/1 Squirrel creature token that's tapped and attacking for each attraction we visited this turn. So, yeah, when it enters, we get the attraction, which will be Squirrel Stack, and then when we attack, we make squirrels equal to the number of attractions. And hopefully we can make more attractions. I'm not too sure about how attractions exactly work and whatnot. So I really need to know how they work, but I don't really know. And Wizards is terrible. They don't really seem to put these things out very clearly, perhaps until the set comes out, but whatever. It's fine. Squirrel Stack is an artifact attraction. Basically, I think how it works is you visit. You get to go into the attraction when it comes into play. You have 5 seconds to stack dice on top of one another. If you stack at least 5 dice, you claim the prize. The prize is to get a 1/1 squirrel creature token for each dice you stacked above the 4th. Then you sacrifice the Squirrel Stack and open another attraction. So when you sacrifice the Squirrel Stack, and you open an attraction, you open an attraction when Squirrel Squatters enters. So you can basically go Squirrel Stack, sacrificing it, making another Squirrel Stack. So you can basically just keep making Squirrel Stacks as many times as you want. I believe also, somebody said this to me, but I'm not 100% sure on this, so don't quote me on this, that you get to visit at the beginning of your upkeep as well, but that doesn't seem to make much sense. So the Squirrel Squatters, to me, it really needs haste to do anything. But when it does have haste, it's like, okay, this seems really weird, because in the sense of rules, how can I just keep going, oh, well, Squirrel Stack, I will put 5 or whatever. I have 5 seconds to stack some dice. Okay, stack, stack, stack. Okay, cool, I got whatever squirrels out of it. Cool, I sacrifice a Squirrel Stack, I make Squirrel Stack again, do the same thing, and then I do it again, and again, and again. Basically, I can do this infinitely. That doesn't make any sense to me. Already, this is an infinite loop on itself. You sacrifice it and you open an attraction. The Squirrel Stack is an attraction, so you just go back to the Squirrel Stack and do it again. So it's like I could just do that forever and not. And I don't know whether it's a May. No, you have to do it. Oh, well, actually. Oh, yeah, the prize is. Okay, so, yeah, you don't get to do it infinitely unless you don't make the 5 or more dice. So you only get that if you get prize, I see. Actually, I reread that and I just realised that's how that part works. But with Visit, I don't know how that works. So you could do it infinitely, almost infinitely, as long as you decide to do it, as far as, putting the dice and whatever. You know what, I'm just going to take 5 more seconds to put this dice. I'm just going to take, whatever. I'm just going to take another few seconds to put this dice. Oh, look, I didn't do it. Oh, no, too bad. I didn't do it. Oh, wow. Whatnot. But, yeah, it's a bit weird how that works, because you would think that you could do it almost every time, but it does depend what dice you're stacking. I'd like to just stack some D6 or whatever. It doesn't really matter what dice you stack, and you only have 5 seconds to do it. So you really need those dice sitting there ready to go and be like, okay, and you also need somebody to time you to be like 1, 2, whatever. I think there's a few other cards that are in this set that do make tokens, but this is the best one, I think, just from my perspective, because it can go semi-infinite at least. And it does make squirrels, so it does work with a lot of the squirrel shenanigans, going infinite, whatnot, stuff that is already in the Chatterfang deck. So yeah, I really would like to know how this actually whole thing works beyond just like, here's what I think. I would love to see the rules on this, but they will never put the rules out properly. You can't find them for shooting or holler, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I think these are cool cards. They're definitely going to go in my deck somewhere. I don't know where. Or well, at least the Squirrel Squatters is because it's a real card, not like a token, essentially. But whatever. Even though there's no other things that basically make attractions or whatever, the Squirrel stack on its own, as long as I can keep, making it somehow. I don't know how that works. Again, like I said, somebody said you get it up your upkeep or whatever, or whatnot. But again, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like once we figure out how that actually works, even if it's just on that turn, and when it attacks, it sort of doesn't really do anything. That's fine because it's entered the battlefield and has made basically infinite squirrels off the bat of a 4-mana, 5-mana spell, whatever. So it doesn't really matter if it ever makes another token attacking squirrel. That's cool if it does. If we can figure out a way to do that, that'll be cool. Definitely, if I can figure that out. But if I make infinite squirrels essentially with this, then it's like, well, do I really need that one extra, attacking squirrel? Whatever. I can just be like, okay, cool. I kill everyone because I've just made infinite squirrels the turn before. So, but then again, I've got to get back to my turn again without those squirrels having died or whatever else, and that is one of the biggest things about some of these sorts of things, and that happens a lot with the deck that I have. It's just like, okay, cool, I can't kill everyone because I don't have mass haste or whatever. There are a few ways to get mass haste, but again, it's like, oh, okay, 1 or 2 cards for the most part, especially in green-black. But again, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, if I don't have those cards or whatever, then it's like, well, can't get mass haste, so I just have to give people that turn. So it's like, well, hopefully I have it next turn. But often it isn't like that. But it is fun to be like, haha, I did the thing. I made infinite squirrels or whatever. You don't really care if you win or lose at that point. You're like, dude, I don't care. I made infinite squirrels, man. I'm happy over here. But yeah, that is that. And, whatnot here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to talk about with this set and whatnot. And these cards, I would love to talk about them more, but I know most people don't really care. So I'm just like here to talk about cards that I like because, hey, I like these cards and I think they're cool, at least for my deck and the way that I build it. And again, that's not going to set the world on fire or whatnot. But that's the way I like to play, again, and I play a lot of people that, are playing at the pre-con level or less a lot of the time, or even maybe just above pre-con or upgraded pre-con. So again, I just prefer playing in that way where it's like, okay, cool. You've got to do stuff. You can't just sit there and go, oh, okay, I hope I win. You've got to establish yourself and actually win and be like, okay, cool, I killed you, or, milled you out, or whatever. You've got to have a win condition, not just, oh, okay, I think I've got a win condition, I've got 52 just to get that win condition, or whatever. Hope I get it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it. If you have stayed this long into my ramblings and discussion, hope you have enjoyed what I've been discussing here, these new squirrel cards that I'm very happy to be beginning and playing with. Yeah, they're not, again, I'll keep saying this throughout, they're not going to set the world on fire. And that's the thing. Like, I've seen a few people here and there be like, oh, but it's 5 mana or whatever, so I'll never fit it into my deck or I'll never cast it, blah, blah, blah. It's too much mana, etc. All this crap. Like, what? Bro, that's what Magic is. There's people that play on all sorts of different levels and whatnot. So just because for you, you can't cast anything other than 0 drops or whatever and whatnot. Otherwise, it's not good, or whatever, things that can't have hexproof and all this and whatnot. Oh, it's not good enough. It doesn't have haste, this and that. What? Who cares? Again, it's a different game set. Everyone plays a different game set. So again, that's the game set that I'm at, and this is what I got. And it's a janky little thing, and that's fine, and I enjoy it, and that's cool. That's it. That's all you need to get. And I don't get some people who play like the ladies facing left and decks like that or whatnot. And again, my deck isn't a quote-unquote tribal deck. It's a token deck. But the more things that are squirrels and do things with squirrels, the better, because, again, the commander cares the most about squirrels, in a sense. It's like doubling season for squirrels, in a sense. It feels a lot better to be doing stuff with squirrels, because that's what the deck's sort of meant to do. The commander works with squirrels, sacrificing squirrels, though I don't use that ability very much. Not like at all, but again, not a lot. But anyway, different subject, different time perhaps. But anyway, guys, hope you have enjoyed this one. You can let me know what you think if you really want to down in the comments below. And again, as I said and kept saying, don't be too nitpicky with this or whatever. This is just some pet cards, as I sort of say, that I like and that I wanted to talk about from this set. I'm not going to talk about many cards from this set because there's nothing really to talk about, because most of it's not legal, as I sort of said. It is what it is. It's a fun little set to, draft with your friends or whatever, or play a quick game or whatever, like Jumpstart or Wizard Tower or whatever with your friends or whatnot. Just open it up, take it home even, like game nights. They're bringing out another game nights in a couple of weeks or whatever. Bring this out, shuffle up a few packs and just, go for it. See what happens, That's the kind of gameplay that this is. It's just janky fun, and that's all it is. It's all cool. If I see you guys down there in those comments, I'll definitely try to respond. But if I don't see you guys down there in those comments, I hope to see you in the next one. If you're enjoying the content here, you can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing and turning on the notifications